What is going on, guys? Nathan here with a Battlefield Bad Company 2 gameplay commentary. Now, I've had this game in my Steam library for a while, but I have an extensive history in Bad Company 2 off of playing the Xbox 360 version, actually, and the majority of when I played this game was about a month or two before Battlefield 3 was released. It was before I was into PC, still on console, as a younger gamer around the ages of 12 or 13, I want to say. But I have played so much Bad Company 2 in my lifetime, and it's been sitting in my Steam library for a while, and one of my friends actually started playing it just to kind of relive some of the nostalgia, and I picked it up as well to play with him and kind of share the nostalgia of the game, and I forgot how amazing this game is. I'm actually so glad that there is still a consistent fan base, I guess you could actually call it, that still plays this game. Like on a Saturday afternoon, there'll be, you know, probably about 10-ish servers that are full, which, I mean, since I have only North America region only, that filter enabled, it's about, you know, 200, 300-ish people that you can play with on any given day, which is pretty weak in terms of, like, if you compare it to, like, Team Fortress 2, which has, like, just a crap ton of people online every day. But this game is old, but I forgot how amazing it is. And I also remembered why I stopped playing this game in the end. Anyway, before I want to go into that, this is actually some, I believe I'm using just the regular assault class with the XM8 rifle. This is actually better gameplay than average that I usually get. I kind of play a slower type of playstyle in Bad Company 2, where I like to take up, like, covering positions and kind of play it more strategically than just kind of run and gun, because I've figured out that that's really just how you die so much in this game. This is more of a gameplay where I actually do try that run and gun style, and I actually do pretty well. So I figured I would use that because it's entertaining enough, and I think I get revived at least like 3 times. So, you know, try to limit the deaths in there to balance out the kills. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to go over what I remember from this game, or at least coming back to it. And the first thing that I noticed when I entered the game is that the graphics for this game, for it being released in 2010, it is now 2014, are amazing. Like, I was actually impressed with these graphics, you know, in this day and age, 4 years later than the game was actually released. I don't know, like, the Xbox version, I remember the graphics were amazing too, but I don't think to the level that the PC version has. And I don't even run everything at full anti-aliasing just because my computer can't even handle it. Like, I have a GTX 770M, but, you know, it still blows my mind away that this game is so awesome that 4 years later I can still go back into this game and just be immersed into how realistic it is and how detailed the environment is. It is pretty crazy, and not only the graphics too, but one of the things that I really liked about Bad Company 2, like I said, was the immersion factor, and for that you also need really good sound in combination with the graphics, and that is exactly what this game has. Now, newer Battlefield games like Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, they didn't necessarily do a bad job with their type of immersion, but it seems like Bad Company 2 is more authentic. Like, to me, it's way more immersive. Like, it feels much more like a real Battlefield than, like, Battlefield 3 or Battlefield 4. Battlefield 3 and 4 seem a little bit more arcadey to me. Like, Battlefield 4, from my own limited experience, seems so chaotic that it just is very unrealistic, and it almost feels cartoony in a weird sort of way. So they have a very arcadey feel, and I really don't like that. But Bad Company 2, throughout the years, has still maintained its ability to immerse its players, which I am absolutely blown away by, that this game can still have this effect 4 years later on me. And like, you guys have heard me say this before in, like, game reviews, but graphics and sound and immersion really do mean a lot to me when you're going for a game that goes for that immersion factor. Like, it's not as important, for example, in a game like Team Fortress 2, where it's cartoony and not supposed to be realistic. But when it is supposed to be realistic in a game like Battlefield Bad Company 2, when you can pull off that immersion factor, it makes the experience like 10 times better, and that is exactly what this game does. And I totally forgot, like, how that game, like, even back in the console days, like, I just forgot how that game did that so well, basically. What I also like about this game compared to Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 is that, in my opinion, it's a lot more balanced in terms of vehicles, because in Bad Company 2, you can disable / take out a tank in like 2 to 3 RPG shots, 2 or 3 depending on if you have the explosive damage perk, which you can unlock in the engineer class. But compared to like Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, I feel like vehicles were a little bit too overpowered in those games, because like you could disable a tank with like 3 RPG shots, but then you need to shoot it that 4th time, and during that time, like if it's an engineer piloting the tank, he can just get out and repair it. And to me, that seemed really overpowered, and it like you just could not kill vehicles in those games. And I think vehicles are just a lot more balanced. Like it is immensely easy to take down a helicopter in Bad Company 2, because if you run an AT-4, which is very easy to do, or even if you just ran the tracer round. I wanna say it's called a tracer round. I'm not sure on the exact name, but it's basically where you shoot that little pink thing, and then RPGs can lock onto the choppers in the sky. So I really like that, and I think the gun balance is a lot more balanced too. I mean, the newer Battlefield games don't do a bad job of that either, but I feel like you have enough variety in Bad Company 2 where, you know, not every gun is the same, but they're not so different where one weapon just rules them all. Like they're all relatively the same but different in their own regard, which I think is very admirable in a game with as many weapons as Bad Company 2. What I don't like, and I actually kind of started to notice these as I kept playing and got over the whole nostalgia factor of coming back to Bad Company 2, the PC version of this game is way more difficult than the console version. Like, people, and it probably doesn't help that I'm in kind of the decline of the life of the game, where basically it's only inhabited by like level 50s, like veterans of the game, compared to me, like the super noob that was from console and just wanted to relive the glory days of the game. But it is very hard, and I think not only is it easier for people to get kills because they have a mouse and keyboard, it's just, yeah, that factor as well, is that there are like super veterans just left playing this game compared to like level 1, level 2 noobs. So I noticed that difficulty aspect, and then I also kind of noticed that the more I kept playing Battlefield, or Bad Company 2 to be specific, the more frustrated I got, because like the times that you die in Bad Company 2 seem to me to outweigh the sort of reward you get for getting kills in the game. And by that, it seems like I will always get killed by the most random thing. Like, no place is really safe. So, like, if I was undercover, for example, like, purposely shielding myself from people so they won't see me, I will either get killed by, like, a sniper, or, like, a tank, or, like, some random guy that called down an airstrike on me. And it's just, it seems like the most random this. Like, you can't ever really be safe at any given point. Like, if I wanted to run and gun, you put yourself at risk to the normal shooters out there who are also running and gunning. Then you put yourself at risk to like snipers and tanks and like heavy MGs. It just seems like there's so many ways to die in the game. And sometimes when you get killed by that random guy that emerges out of the woodwork, it can just get really frustrating. But regardless of that, I still like have so much nostalgia for this game. It was just a fantastic game back in its day, and because of this game, I think I'm actually going to reinstall like Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3, and try them out again to see if, you know, how they compare to what I think of as the old Bad Company 2. So I think that's pretty much all I had to say for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, if you did enjoy it, feel free to leave a rating and or subscribe, and I'll see you later.